I'm Joey Decosola. Welcome to People in Perspective. Joining me today is my guest, Michael Maher, a cameraman for channel ABC7 News. How are you doing today, Mike?
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? So you are a cameraman for channel ABC7. So what about your education? What did you do before this?
I started going to school after high school. I went to a number of different schools. I started at Northwestern, and then I learned about a new program that Columbia College was launching that had a lot more hands-on experience and opportunities. They offered many more opportunities for internship programs, and I heard that there was a higher job placement for graduates after that. So I had to sort of switch gears, but I did everything I could to take extra courses, extra credit hours. I ended up doing 3 internships. They had only required 1 at that point, and just did everything I could to hustle and get more hours, more internships. I think internships are key. Hands-on work experience is key to get into the business. And then after that, I graduated early and just started working in the business.
Cool. What about the history of what you, like with ABC7, on what you did like before, or what happened with that?
It was a lot building up to my career at ABC7. I started working, I had 4 days notice before I had to start my first job. I had to move away to a smaller market, and I was producing the morning show. And I was a producer for years, and I started doing the morning show, but I'm a creative guy, and I think a lot of creative people just sort of have that itch, and it just gnaws at you to be more creative. So I would start shooting college football on the side just to make extra money and to start getting camera experience. And so that experience, that camera experience, that shooting experience took me through to other jobs and freelance opportunities. And I started freelancing, doing multi-camera shoots, and I got contracted through the Discovery Channel and started doing producing and shooting aspects for elements for the Dr. Phil Show and CNN and CNBC and Good Morning America, and these were all just contracting freelance opportunities that eventually took me to network jobs and got me into CBS and CNN and eventually ABC, where I am now.
Oh, so it's like a lot of working up to what you got to do today.
It's always paying your dues and starting
Yeah.
from the bottom every time you get a new job. It's as if you were brand new everywhere you go.
Right.
And eventually it landed me back in Chicago, and again, it was 4 days notice, pack up and move and start all over, and it's a new newsroom, it's a new job, and it's a new hustle all over and over again.
Yeah, what do you do currently now for ABC?
Now for ABC, I work with the I-Team, which is great because while you still do news every day, and every day is a new story, a new opportunity, sometimes you have minutes to get on the air from what you're shooting. I am working again with the I-Team, so it's very project oriented. So you work with a team and you tell stories from beginning to end, and everything is about storytelling, whether it's news, sports, I-Team, special projects, and it all starts and ends with storytelling. And whether you're producing, writing, shooting, everything is about people's stories and getting to the bottom of it. And that's what I love about the I-Team. And then weekends I shoot sports. So Chicago is a phenomenal city to have, the sports beat.
Yeah.
We have Cubs, we have Blackhawks, we have Bulls, we have Bears. You can't find a better city to shoot sports and tell sports stories.
Right. So what would be your message to people who want to get into this or who like it?
Into broadcasting and news, whether it's talk shows, whether it's news, whether it's journalism, whether it's any form of media, is to just stay current with the trends and hustle. TV pie is shrinking so drastically. TV will always be there, but you have to stay current with social media. You have to stay current with the digital platforms. And if you can hustle and you can work harder than the next guy and just stay current with all platforms of media, you'll secure a spot in this business.
Right, and that's not easy. Like people might think like it's easy, TV and stuff, but it's really not. Like what you do.
You have to be passionate. You have to work hard, and you have to want it. You have to have that drive in you to go for it. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, there's 1,000 people who want your job.
Right. So what about the business of ABC, or on what you do?
The business is creative. It's interesting. It's very competitive. I think that people think that TV is very glamorous. It's very unique. It's very special, and it is competitive, and it's different. It's a different kind of platform. People see you visually on TV. They see all that goes into TV, and it's exciting and it's different, but it's no different than any other business. There's doctors, there's first responders, there's nurses, there's people working on the front lines overseas, and those are the heroes. Those are the people. We're just documenting their stories. We're telling. They're the ones who are out there doing they're the ones doing the unique work. We're telling their stories, and we're documenting what they're doing.
Right. So how many were production things? Like you said, 200
markets.
Yeah, markets.
Markets in the country. So each city is a market, and the market size is dictated by the population. We are market 3 in Chicago. There are 210 markets. So you really have to start out graduating and moving usually to a smaller town, a smaller market, and you work your way up the ladder, to bigger markets, hopefully to major markets. And that's where if you want network experience, you want major market experience, that's where you want to be. But it depends on what you're passionate about. You want to, it's where you want to be, is what you want to do. You want to go after what you want, what you're passionate for.
Mm-hmm. What was like the most coolest thing that you've done, like with camera, like filming? What was your favorite thing to do?
I really have enjoyed the opportunities and the experiences that I wouldn't have had without this line of work. Meeting presidents, being on the field, being in the locker rooms at World Series, Stanley Cup championships, those things have been pretty awesome. Also, some of the scary experiences that I've had, and learning from those opportunities, like covering riots and traveling and seeing some of the sadder stories, some of the tragic stories. You wish that you could help certain people and change their lives, but we're not there to change people's lives. We're there to tell their stories.
Right.
But I've learned a lot from what I do, and I'm going to continue to learn. I'm going to continue to tell people stories, whether it's through a lens of a camera or writing or producing, and letting people tell their own stories through the interviews that we do. If I've done that properly and accurately and fairly, then I've done my job.
Right. So altogether, how long have you been doing this for?
Oh, gosh. Since 2000.
2000?
Yeah. Yeah, since 2000 I started. Where are we? 2017.
17. Yeah.
So almost 20 years.
That's awesome.
And if you count internships and the jobs that I've done before then, I started freelancing before I even graduated. So maybe 2 extra years before that.
Right. What was your
20 years, we'll say.
So your biggest accomplishment, you brought in an award, and this is an Emmy Award.
This is one award. In this business, you sort of you're not measured by the work that you do, but you get awarded for different things, different bodies of work that you do. A lot of times people at the station or the networks that you work for will enter you for different things, and this is one of them. This is an Emmy that I won for a body of work that I'd done on a series of stories of people with disabilities.
Okay.
This is something that we had produced. I had produced for Michael Maher. She was our disability beat reporter at ABC, and this is it. They had entered it for me, and we'd won.
What year did you win it?
It says right there, 2010 we won this.
2010.
And this was again for a series of work, so this was a compilation of different stories.
Right, so like before, like leading up to it, it was like a bunch of stuff for the award.
It was a body of work that we had compiled as a series. So, but we've won as a station for many things. For Blackhawks Stanley Cup Championship, we've won for NATO was another one that we had won for. I personally been nominated, I think, 5 times for different Emmys.
Okay.
I have 2 Murrow Awards. I can't count all the awards, but it's over 20 years. It's an honor to be considered for different things, and these are things that people nominate you for, and sometimes you win and sometimes you don't. But it's a nice accomplishment. It's nice to be considered for things like this.
So would you say would this be your biggest accomplishment then?
I think my career is my biggest accomplishment, and that we still get to go back and do your job every day and do a good job and to be considered part of a team.
Okay.
I'm proud of the team that I'm on.
That's awesome. And you guys all get along and all that?
We work very well together.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much
for coming. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It was awesome having you here. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. This is Michael Maher, and this is People in Perspective, and we'll see you next time.